Hi there! In this video, I'm going to be sharing how you can start to sing more confidently in front of other people. Now, you know how it is. You're singing away happily, in your element, making a cup of tea, maybe doing the washing up, maybe you've even got the music on and you're just blasting it out. You're singing your heart out. And then you hear someone moving in the house or in the flat and you thought you were alone and you're like, oh no, you want the ground to swallow you up. You feel like, no, they heard me singing. What if it was really bad? You just don't want to be there. Or you're singing away and happily singing away. You know that people are around, but you don't think you're singing that loudly. And then they walk into the room and you go, you either sing a lot more quietly or you stop singing completely. Maybe you leave the room and go and sing somewhere else. Now, these things have happened to me, and there's also the times when you're around other people. Maybe you're at a family get together, a barbecue, or you're at a friend's house, and someone says, "Oh, you know what? Carrie's a singer. Carrie, sing us a song," and you just like, "Oh, I just want the ground to swallow me up." Now, that doesn't mean that you're bad at singing or that you don't love singing. It's just that there are things going on in your mind that are stopping you, that are holding you back. Now, before I forget, please do remember to subscribe. I've got lots more videos that are going to help you with your singing. So make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know when new videos come through. So new videos are going to be coming through every single week. So back to the subject. Yes, you're singing away. You know, it doesn't mean that you're not a good singer. It doesn't mean that you can't be a singer, and it also doesn't mean that you're always going to be nervous about singing in front of other people, and it doesn't mean that you'll never be able to sing to an audience. Now, when I started singing, I was always a performer, okay? I started as a dancer, for those of you who don't know, and I was always putting on shows. And the reason that I sang as a child was that often I didn't have the music with me, so I would sing so that I would have music to dance to. And then later on, when I became a singer and people found out that I was going to singing lessons and I was doing shows and all this kind of stuff, they would ask me to sing. And I didn't always feel like singing. Okay, because sometimes you just want to chill out. Sometimes you might just be out with your mates in a restaurant or not so much in a restaurant, but down the pub or in a park, and you all have a sing song together. That's different. But when it's all eyes on you and people are asking you to sing for them, then you know what happens? You can get choked up. All of a sudden your mouth becomes really dry. You get that fight, flight, or freeze reaction, and that's absolutely normal. Now, fight, flight, or freeze comes from when we were living more with nature, and it was in response to confrontation or danger. Now, although this isn't a dangerous situation, singing in front of other people isn't a dangerous situation, at the moment, it's out of your comfort zone. And so your body reacts to it as if it's dangerous. Okay, this is a perfectly normal response. So, you get choked up, your mouth is dry, you get even more nervous. Maybe your hands start to shake, or maybe you even start singing and your voice starts to shake. It could be that you feel confident, but inside you are kind of shaking. You butterflies in your stomach, maybe you feel a little bit nauseous. And the reason for this is that A, you're out of your comfort zone, and B, you haven't learned how to turn those nerves into excitement. Now, the same chemicals run through our body when we're excited as when we're nervous. So you can, through the power of thought, perception, and practice, turn those nerves into excitement. Now, if you're someone who experiences performance anxiety, that's slightly different and that needs working through. So nerves are one thing, Anxiety is something different. Nerves are when you just feel like, oh my goodness, I'm not sure if I can do this. I'm not sure if I can do this, or I just feel a little bit uneasy and uncomfortable. Anxiety is when you have a fear of dread that something terrible is going to happen. Okay, so they're two very, very distinct things. So when you're feeling nervous and when anxiety starts to creep in, once you've been able to once you've been able to get through the anxiety and start to deal with nerves, there are a few things that you can start to do to help yourself. Now, one of the many things that we do as singers, because we're artists, because we are creative, we also tend to be very emotional. And singing is a very, very exposing activity. Now, when you're singing, maybe it's that you're focusing on yourself and what's going to go wrong, rather than focusing on the audience and, and their excitement about hearing you sing. Now, knowing that people are excited to hear you sing can actually make things worse. But when you shift your focus from what could go wrong to actually, what can I do? How can I make this more exciting and more entertaining for the audience or for the people around me? Then you start to think of what could go right. So rather than thinking of the negative, think of what is going to happen when they hear your unique voice. Now, this is very important when... This is going to annoy me. Now, the other thing is that maybe, they've caught you off guard. Maybe you're not sure what you're going to sing. And so here are some solutions, okay? So as well as focusing on the audience, just remember that as well as wanting to hear you sing, they want you to be a good singer. They want to hear you succeed, okay? Now, maybe you'll forget a couple of words. Maybe your voice will crack. Maybe you'll get a bit of phlegm in your throat. Who cares? Just deal with it, just say, oh, bit of a voice crack there. Oh, technical hitch. Make a joke of it, Even if you feel like you're terrible, there's going to be someone there who's going to love what you're doing. And even the fact that you are singing in front of an audience is something that most people in the world, in life, are never, ever, ever going to do. So you are unique in that aspect. Now, there are some people who will always have something bad to say. Hopefully you won't meet too many of them. But there are some people who, even if you sing like Ariana Grande or Freddie Mercury, they're never going to compliment you. Don't pay them any mind. Don't pay any attention to those guys. You're always going to have a set of cheerleaders who love what you do. My oldest friend, my best friend Nicola, my close best friend Sarah, my friend Brona, my mum, of course, my sister. I've got this group of cheerleaders, and they're not always with me when I sing. In fact, they're these days, for the past probably 18 years, none of them have been with me for most of the times that I've ever sung. I've sung all over the world, all right? But bringing it back to making it relatable to you guys, in those early days, when I was singing a lot at people's birthday parties, at people's weddings, I would think, what would Brona and Nicola say? What would Sarah say? And that would spur me on. That would give me the confidence to keep going forward. So that's something that you can do. Know that you have a group of cheerleaders, who are your group of cheerleaders, and always have them in the back of your mind, because they love what you do and they're always going to support you. The other thing is, if you're in a situation where people are asking you to sing and you weren't really anticipating it, kind of always anticipate it. Have 2 or 3 go-to songs that you always can pull out of the bag, that no matter what's going on, whether you're tired, whether you're hungry, if you haven't slept very well, if you had a few drinks, if you know that with these songs, they're always going to show the best of your voice. And they're going to show you in the best light. So once you know what they are, Always have them to hand. Practice, 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 practice. Even when you think that you know them inside out, keep practicing them, because you never know when you're going to need them to pull them out of the bag and give people a great show and show how good you are. Now, if you do feel really nervous, or, for beginners, deal with the elephant in the room. Say, I'm feeling really nervous. I've only had a few singing lessons, or I haven't sung for a while, or, I wasn't really expecting this. I feel a bit, Some people might think you're a diva, but if it's true, it's true. And the likelihood is that it is true. Okay, so you don't have to be the best singer or sing to the best of your ability every single time you sing, especially if it's not a gig and you're not being paid, right? Just give what you can at the time that you can give it. Now, there are going to be some people who aren't really that bothered in that group, who aren't really that bothered about your singing. They might go on their phone, they might start chatting to someone next to them, they might walk off. This is not a reflection on you. It's the reflection of what's going on inside them, and for some reason they're not able to deal with you having the limelight. Okay? In most cases, there might just be some people who just don't really like hearing a cappella singing, or they don't really like music. That's their business. Don't worry about those guys. Now, one more thing that I'm going to add is that, well, there are a couple more things. So the next thing that I'm going to add is that if you limit the length of time that you sing in all of these situations, then you're going to leave people wanting more. Okay, so sing like the first verse and chorus, or if the song starts with a chorus, sing like the first chorus and verse. Yeah, there are some songs that don't have choruses, but you know what I mean. Maybe sing the first minute and a half of a song. This way, you're going to keep people wanting more. And for those people who are going to drift off, there are always going to be people who are going to drift off after a minute or so anyway, okay? So if you stay in control of that situation, rather than getting disheartened halfway through and giving up, I'm only going to sing a minute and a half of the song. People are likely to join in at some point. And when you're at the peak, when everyone's having a great time, you're like, that's it, come on, let's carry on with the party, or whatever it is you're doing. The other reason that you can do that is that you can always give people a sneaky peek of what you can do. And then if they want you to come and sing at their birthday party, or sing at their wedding, or their kid's christening, or even a corporate gig, they'll already know how good you are. So you can start negotiations with them another time. Always direct them to either a website if you have one, or an email address. I don't recommend starting negotiations for gigs with people you know or people you've just met over the phone. Reason being, they can get too familiar, but that's for another, I'll make another video on that, okay? So, to summarize, you're going to remember how much you love singing. You love singing, okay? If you're in a position to sing when people ask you to, or you're in a position where you're singing away, singing your heart out, and someone walks into the room, or you didn't realize someone was in the house, just carry on. Because the more self-conscious you feel, the more nervous they're going to feel around you when you are singing. Now, it's easy for me to say, but I did it as well, okay? I used to get quiet when people walked into the house or walked into the room. But the more that you practice just carrying on, even if it's for another line or two, the easier it's going to be to sing in front of other people. Limit the amount of time that you sing for if you've been asked to sing in an impromptu setting. Tell people, deal with the elephant in the room if you're feeling extra nervous, or if you haven't sung for a while and you're not sure that your voice is up to it. And if you really, really don't want to sing, say no. You're well within your rights to say no. You're not a performing monkey. So I hope that this video has helped you. Do remember to click the like button if you did. And if there's anything that I can help you with, then please put it in the comments and I'll make a video for you. Now, if you are new to singing and you want to and you want to build your singing skills, your vocal skills, then I've got something very special for you. Now, I am in the stages of putting together an online course, and that's going to be ready very, very soon. But in the meantime, what I'd love to do is to give you a cheat sheet that can get you started. And I'm also going to give you the first 5 tutorials absolutely free. So click the link down below, or wherever it is, wherever you're on, whatever platform you're seeing this on, click the link and I'm going to send you the cheat sheet, 5 free tutorials, and my ebook absolutely free. I look forward to seeing you very, very soon. And of course, stay hydrated. Ciao.